Hi guys, it's me. I was just sitting here looking at the comments that you guys left under the last video I just published. Um, it's getting late, but I didn't want to close out my day without saying thank you to everybody. Your comments really boosted my mood. You guys were like, "We missed you, Dana." In reality, I didn't think that anybody had even noticed that I was gone, but I just feel a little compelled to kind of explain something to you guys, because you're there and you're loyal and you didn't unsubscribe. But in the time that I took off, I lost quite a bit of subscribers, and for me, it's not about the numbers. It's not about chasing, watch time minutes or anything like that. It's just that, if people are not, if they're not hanging on with you, they just leave, so I consider the ones that are still here and still subscribing loyal viewers, loyal subscribers, but I appreciate you guys a whole lot. Thank you for patiently waiting on me. Thank you for the emails. A few of you guys did email me, and like I said, I just want to put together a quick video just to say thank you and give you guys just a little bit of an explanation as to what happened. First things first, I'm really all about just trying to create quality content. I want it to come from a place where it feels good. I'm in the flow. I want the messages to be very clear for me. I want them to be in alignment, I guess, as to how I'm feeling, okay? So about a month ago, I sat down and I was trying to record a video for you guys, but it felt so forced. It felt so, the messages were sticky. I was tripping over my words, and it just didn't feel right. And I also noticed around that time I was getting like headaches and I was really tired. And so I just realized that if my readings or my coaching is not coming from a place of like a genuine place inside of me, then I don't do it. Okay, so I sat down and recorded this video. I got through like the first part of like pile number 1, and I was like, no, this sounds horrible. It sounded sloppy. It's like, no, this is not what I want to be putting out there. So what I did was I erased it, and I came back the next day. I think, well, maybe I'll just, get some water and get some sleep. And I came back to it the next day, and again, it was the same thing. It felt pushed. It felt forced. It felt just so sloppy. And I was like, you know what? This isn't good. So what I did was I did what I would tell you guys to do in situations like this. Like, take a step back and ask yourself what was going on. What's going on inside of here? Okay? So that's what I did. I took some time out to kind of just slice and dice and kind of look. I went within for, some kind of answer just to figure out what was going on here. And I did come up with some answers, which were not that hard to find. They were actually sitting in my face, but it was processing what I was being told, how I was feeling and stuff like this. But let me just explain. Right at the beginning of the year, I lost a really good friend of mine, and I was just talking to her, and unfortunately she had passed away. I didn't see it coming. I'm sure she didn't see it coming. I don't exactly know what happened. This is non-COVID. This was pre-COVID, okay? So she passed away, then my husband's uncle passed away, and then my husband's best friend's father passed away, all at the same time. So like starting out in 2020, it was just like a big kick in the face. It really was for us. And I was just like, wow, okay, you know, let's just, you know, do what we need to do. Take a breath. Let's get through this process, this grieving process, and we did. And the next thing I know, the whole pandemic hit, and then I was just like, oh my gosh, here we go again. So, you know, I'm out there and I'm like telling all my friends, stay safe. And I know it sounds weird nowadays. It's like, stay safe and stay clean and make sure you're washing your hands. Like, I feel like everybody's mom, make sure you're washing your hands, guys. You know, like, so as time went on, just a little bit, like, I ended up having 6 friends who were diagnosed with this COVID thing, okay? And just like 3 days ago was the 6th person I know, and she told me, she's like, Dana, I'm sick. And I'm like, it's COVID, isn't it? She's like, yeah. But, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are in contact with somebody you know that has COVID. You know, whether you're living with them or you just have somebody you know at this point in the ball game. Like, we all have somebody we know. I really just was not expecting 6 people to come forward and be like, you know, I have COVID. And this whole thing has gotten kind of scary for me. It really has. And you know, if you guys have been following me for a while, I'm pretty open and honest about the passing of my brother and sister, and they died so closely to each other. And that is my source of trauma. That is a very difficult part of my life, because their passing was so unexpected for me. And it was traumatic. It was, I don't know. I don't want to share too much of that right now, because I'm not trying to make this a depressing video. But if you guys have been with me for a few years, you guys know that I share that story pretty open and honestly. But getting back to the point of what was going on with me was that when this whole thing started to happen again with this pandemic, what it was doing was it was re-triggering a lot of PTSD for me. So, and you would think, you know, like a lot of that would have been healed and stuff like that, but I don't know. There was just this feeling of like uncertainty for me. There was a lot of fear coming up for me. A lot of like this feeling of like, who's next? You know, like, what's going on? You know, it's just a lot of complicated feelings for me. And I guess it's because when my sister had passed away, the last time I saw my brother was at my sister's funeral. Mind you, they only died a couple months apart. And at the funeral, I hugged my brother, and when I hugged him, I had this vision in my mind of him being in the coffin. And I still can remember that so vividly for myself. And it was a scary moment for me, you know, like, and sure enough, he did pass in a very traumatic kind of way for me. Okay. They both did. And that's what started coming back up to the surface. Okay. So a lot of depression kicked in and stuff like that. And going back to the channel or doing like any kind of coaching or any kind of personal reads, I have to be in complete alignment with myself. Okay. I have to be in a state of peace within my heart. I never want it to come from a place that's forced, or it just doesn't feel right, or it doesn't feel comfortable. And because in some ways, I feel like it can create a lot of damage to people, you know, when it's not coming from a place of truth, you know. So I just decided to take a break. I had to get this back under control. I did. I worked it all out. And I'm really happy that I did take a step back. I did kind of, I did a lot of work on myself in these past couple of weeks, because I felt like I was falling apart a little bit here. And again, like I was saying, like, I'm really happy that I did this for myself, because there were things that other things that I had started to notice, and other messages that had started to come through for me, was the fact that if we're you know, in a reading or any like pick of cards or anything like this, I've noticed that tarot can get really confusing for people. There's a lot of, it's like the way I'm understanding this, and I'm doing this based on the comments that I've seen in my channel. It's like, oh, this other reader said this other reader said this, and now I'm just really confused. I get a lot of those comments, and then I get like, well, you're telling us to do our healing and our shadow work, or this or that, or this or that, and it was like, and then it's like, well, I don't know how to do these things. So, and it kind of gave me like this aha moment, this moment of truth when it comes to tarot and coaching, and it's true. You guys have called me out on it. Basically, it is true. There is no how to do something here. There is no how to make it better, or how. There's no way to. There's the no how to in this, okay? And when in my personal readings, I like to throw in the how to's, you know, and it's up to the person to take the advice and work with the advice, because I want people to come out of this stronger, a lot stronger. I don't want them stuck in a pattern, or I don't want them to constantly keep giving so much of themselves to this one particular man or this one particular woman, you know, kind of looking at where people's, you know, where their boundaries are, where their self-worth is. And so this really kind of gave me an idea. This gave me an idea, because I think it would be beneficial to you guys too. I was thinking about putting together like a little series, like maybe once a month, you know, just kind of going over certain topics and talking about those topics, so that you have a better understanding of, like, when we say things like, you have to do your shadow work, you have to do this, you have to do that, and basically kind of giving you guys the how to in this, okay? So if you're still watching this video, which we're 13 minutes in, but if you're still watching this video, please tell me in the comments below if this is something you would actually like to see. And I kind of am feeling too that there's been a lot of changes with YouTube, that we have to kind of get a little bit more creative. But that's a completely different topic. But with YouTube always changing, we have to change too. So that's just kind of one idea I want to throw in here. But you definitely let me know in the comments below how you're feeling about that, and for sure, any kind of feedback would be great along those lines. I love tarot. I think it's a very valuable, and necessary tool when it comes to spirituality, but there's a missing piece to this. There's a missing link to all of this, and I think that I can share that link with you guys, that missing piece, because my job and my role and what I want to do for everybody is to get people standing in their power, firmly in their power. And jokingly, I say this a lot on Facebook. I said, I want to work with you guys, but I want to get you to a place where I never see you guys again. In a very lovingly way, I say that. I mean that. Like, I want you to be so strong and standing so independently in your power that you take what you've learned and you shared it with other people. That's kind of my mission here, you know? So, I don't know. Share any thoughts or feelings or concerns. If you're not comfortable with doing that in the comment section, please email me, Coachdanna, yahoo.com. And again, thank you guys so much for all the sweet little messages. It, you guys got me back on track over here, I gotta say. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate, you know, just the energy that you guys have been sharing, you know, with me. But I'm not gonna keep going down there because I can feel myself choking up. But I love you guys very much. I appreciate the support. It's just everything. Okay, whatever. Shut up, Dana. But I love you. And that's about all I have to say for this little video, but thank you. I truly appreciate you guys. I gotta go. I'm going to bed. I'm gonna meditate, but I will see you next time. Bye.